Hey traders, John Howell here. I want to do this video because I want to neutralize your trading journey along where you are right now. And I want to just talk about how I got involved with trading and how I actually got started in trading. So I'll take you way back when I first started. And it was about 14-15 years ago, somewhere around about there. That's when I first got started into the markets and into trading. And at the time, what was happening was I was working as a laborer, and what was happening was just working from job to job to job. I was doing pick packing because I didn't have any degrees behind me, right? So I did pick packing, I did landscape gardening, and even car detailing. And what ended up happening was I was washing cars for a living, and so I was washing cars for a living, and it was actually my girlfriend at the time. And the reason why I say at the time is because she became my wife. And so at the time she was my girlfriend, and she used to work at a lawyer's office. It was interesting. I was actually just talking to her about this yesterday with the kids, and what ended up happening was I was washing cars for them, thinking there's got to be a better way. There's got to be a better way, right? So what I was trying to do was I was always trying to work my way up into areas, right? So then, like, if I was car detailing, I wanted to work my ass off so good so I could become the detailing department manager, and then I wanted to become salesperson and a sales manager and then general manager. I wanted to work my way up. I wanted to become someone, and I was willing to work my ass off to do it. So that's where I was always working. And it was funny because my girlfriend at the time, she used to work at a lawyer's office, very, very small lawyer. It was just her. She was like the admin person, and sometimes she'd be very bored. There'll be nothing to do at the work apart from sit there and wait for the phone to ring. So she started looking up online, make money from home and all that sort of stuff. And she ended up finding this company that was giving a free DVD. And the free DVD, she's like, oh, okay. So anyway, she got the free DVD. She said, this guy talks about himself too much. So then she gave the free DVD to her father. Her father said, this guy's a scam, all that sort of stuff. Then he gave it to me, and I was hooked. Because not only was I hooked on what he was talking about, but he was talking about 8 ways to get started, and property investing, and how people really have made wealth through property. And then also then he started simplifying the stock market, because the stock market for me, right, I was like, what the hell is the stock market? And then he broke it down in layman's terms about, initially I started learning about, the very first strategy I learned was about buying shares and then writing calls over the shares, right? So therefore you're actually getting an income, you're actually protecting a bit of a downside, and you could do this every single month. Not only that, but you could actually then go borrow money, you could leverage up, and all that sort of down home country goodness. So I'm just like, wow, this thing's incredible. So at the very end, it was like a 3-hour DVD. I watched this thing like at least a dozen times. I was hooked. I was absolutely hooked on this DVD. But here I was, earning $400 a week, just barely getting by with my rent and all the electricity bills. And so what ended up happening was, I'm like, but I want to get this course. I want to start learning how to do this so I can start to get ahead. I'm like, but I got no money. So I'm like, all right, this course is $2,000. But there's also a payment plan where you do like $499 up front, and then like 12 payments of $199 or something like that. But it was, so I'm like, oh, how do I get access of $500 so I can access this? So I'm like, oh, I know what to do. So I actually went to the bank. And when I went to the bank, I said, can I get a credit card? So sure. So they gave me a $500 credit card. I used that to get started. And as soon as I got the package, I was spending all my free time, weekends, weeknights, going through all, there was like, geez, at least 20-something DVDs with all different speakers speaking on their topics, right? So you've probably seen this before, right? It's known these days, but those days it's like, wow. And the thing I loved about this was, for me, I had no idea about this market. I started learning about internet marketing. I started learning about property investing. I started learning about different ways you can invest into the stock market. And I started learning about technical analysis as well too, understanding a bit more about the graphs. And then obviously I could buy more courses from there. And then there was a big thick manual. And then there was a big thick manual, and I'd studied and I'd studied and I'd studied and I'd studied this thing. And then I'd go to these three-day seminars as well too. That was included in the package. And that was my very first introduction into it. And then what ended up happening was that was my very first introduction. And then I realized, man, I need to get some more money. Like I need to start earning more money. So I actually walked out. It was stupid of me, but I said, I've had enough. And I walked out of this car detailing place. The reason why I had enough was because I was working my ass off trying to work my way up. And because I was actually producing more cars at better quality than the actual manager or one of the top car detailers there, I ended up getting, you know, bagged out and all that sort of stuff and put down. So what ended up happening was I quit my job, and then I ended up finding this job working as a labourer. But the labourer, I knew I knew that if I could work 6-7 days a week at this labouring job, then I could start doing really well. So I went from $400 a week to then literally going to about $1,200 to $1,500 a week, and then $1,200 to $1,500 a week. That's when I started saving money, and that's when I started in buying more courses from this in one initial program. And the very first course I bought was an options trading course. Now it wasn't teaching me options trading, but it was teaching me a system based on basic technical analysis, like trend analysis and highs and lows and bullish up bars and bearish down bars and all that sort of stuff, and understanding that. Also some basic analysis to picking the right option and how far out and what type of option. And the reason why I got that right, because I didn't have a lot of money to my name when I first started. And when I saw all these options, like I could start to get trading in options with only a few $1,000s. Like I could do that right now. That's what I was thinking. So I ended up buy this course and went to that seminar, and then I started trading that, and I made every mistake you could think of underneath the book, and I became hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt. And it was just horrible, right? I wasn't sticking to the plan. I wasn't patient. I wasn't consistent. I was absolutely just horrible. And within 2 years, I was $250,000 in debt and facing bankruptcy and then starting that journey. And the reason why was because it just came down to, I had no idea what was the mindset, what was the psychology that was going into it. The mindset, the psychology is really, do you know exactly what you're looking for on the chart, or are you just hoping this is a good trade? So I was always hoping, right? It's like, this seems like a good idea, and I was getting into shit that I shouldn't, and I was making irrational decisions, and I'm like, oh, screw it, I'll just put all my money in this thing, and then I'd see this thing that was like, oh, this thing, I better get in now because I'm going to feel, and all this crap, right? I just, and all these mistakes of what I made end up leading me up to that. Now, how did I get to $250,000 in debt? How did I do that? Very, very simple. I was trading really, really well for a period of time there, and then I'm like, I need to get access to more money so I can start to earn more money. So I ended up went up to call him a friend, acquaintance at the time, and I showed him my results. He's like, man, you're doing fantastic. Here's $200,000. I'm like, all right, cool. At the end of 12 months, then I'll give you. At the end of 12 months, I will give you $200,000 back plus $50,000. So a 25%, I think it was. Yeah, about 25% return. He's like, all right, I'm good with that. Because I knew in the back of my mind, I was doing anywhere between 100 and 200% return on my account. So like, I could make $150,000, $170,000 from this initial income coming in, additional on what I was making. So I could make $200,000, $300,000 of my trading. And that's when all hell broke loose for me, because when I got the access to the money, it wasn't my money. I totally freaked out. I then said to the guy who I borrowed this money off, I said, you know, I don't want to trade this because this is what I'm feeling right now, but I do have this person that I've seen. He's doing an average of 5% per month. It seems like a low risk strategy. Are you happy doing that? And he said, yes. Anyway, cut a long story short, I gave this money to him, all the $200,000 from his friend. This other guy completely lost all that money. He asked me for more money of my money to then cover some of the margin loan, the margin calls that I was getting from him, like within 30 days, 60 days, like 200 grand, boom, like that. And then not only that, but I had to give him, you know, another $50,000 or so of my own money, and then it just completely went downhill from there. And the only thing I got back from him was about 10 grand, which then I gave to this other guy, or this is my friend at the time. And I said, listen, this is what's happened. And because I personally signed that, even though he said he was okay with giving the money to this other person, I was personally responsible for this, so that's where I became personally responsible for something that I didn't even do. And I look back now, I'm thinking, why the fuck did I do that? Because at the time I was trading really, really well, and then I totally freaked out because it wasn't my money and I didn't want to lose it, so I ended up giving it to someone else, and it was just like a nightmare, you know. And the way that I was trading my account, like I wasn't risking any more than, you know, 3 to 5% risk on my account in any given one trade. So I had to have a tremendous amount of losing in a row to even lose 50% of the trade, 50% of the account. And so that actually set me on the back foot really quickly there. So I was trading really well, and then that happened, and then guess what happened? It had such an effect on my marriage. I got married. I had such an effect on everything I was doing, and I really wanted to get ahead. So then I went back to work. I saved some money. I started trading with another $5,000, and you know, I started making every mistake because I'm like, I needed the money, and I was rushing. I need to make money. I was rushing, and then nothing would work. I'm just like, why? How come I was doing well before but not now? And before I realized, because I didn't need to make the money, because I had money in the account, I just waited for the good opportunities, and then I traded well. But now I need to make money. I'm trying to force it, rush. And I ended up going backwards. I was taking shit that I shouldn't have taken. I wasn't patient. I wasn't disciplined. I wasn't consistent every single day. And yeah, I completely blew and lost all that as well too. And so I end up, you know, we end up, you know, selling the house and moving back with my mother-in-law. And then it was from that process that I said to my mother-in-law, I said, listen, can you give me, I think I said 12, I said 8 months. Give me 8 months of free rent, and then at the end of that 8 months, I'll pay you everything up that, so just say for call it $1,000 a month in rent. I said, just give me, I said to her, just give me 8 months of rent free, but at the end of the 8 months, I'll pay you all that up. You know, just say it's $1,000. She was taking care of all the rent, she was taking care of all the food, all that sort of stuff. I said, I just need a bit of pressure off me to get this thing going again. And because I did that, when that happened, boom, a whole new world started opening up. I started getting coaching from 7-figure traders. I started trading the E-mini S&P 500 mark. And then, yeah, like 8 months later, I did exactly that. From starting from a very small trading account, I grew that to an amount where I paid my mother-in-law what I needed to pay her. Me and my wife moved out into a new home, bought a brand new family car, and then things started to really kick up from there. And I've gone through a lot of ups and downs ever since. But now I'm at a place where I look back right now and just like, I'm in the best position right now where I'm trading, because I understand now, looking back, I understand now what it takes to get ahead of the markets. I understand where I was going wrong. I understand what I was doing wrong. And thanks to my coaches as well too, has really helped me. And I'm just getting better and better each year. And one thing I have found is that there's a lot of things that goes into trading, but you know, that's why I love doing the trading that I do. Majority of my trading is just an hour a day, which is, for me, in Sydney time, I wake up first thing in the morning and I trade the last hour of the US stock market, and I use options, and that's mainly what I trade. And you know, if I choose to trade the Forex market, I trade that in the afternoon, the Forex and the futures and stuff like that, and I do well on that. But you know, my main thing is freedom, right? So my main trading is just literally an hour or so a day, and just making sure that I'm doing my scanning all the stocks and looking for really good opportunities, and not getting too greedy, getting in, getting out when I need to, and you know, Trading is simple, it's easy, it's fun. I've just got to just be consistent at showing up every day, be disciplined to take in the trades when they do come up, and being patient and not taking all this other shit and just only sticking to it. And once I started doing that, results started to come. So I hope you guys can see this is the short version of it. Now through that process, yes, I've done some fucked up bullshit, like put, you know, 100% of my account into into trading a market when I shouldn't, and blowing myself out of the water. And I've done that a few times now through that process. Ever since I started to now, I've done that a couple of times where I get too egotistic, I think I know it all, and then suddenly I go to the market and suddenly blow myself out of the water and had to start small again and build myself back up. I've done that a few times, but now I know exactly what I need to do just to keep moving forward. Just keep moving forward. I know exactly the setups I'm looking for. I know exactly when I get in. I know exactly when I need to be out of those trades as well too. The trade management wise, I know exactly the type of setups I'm looking for. And when I just be disciplined, when I be consistent and show up every day, when I be disciplined to only taking those setups, when I be patient to not taking any other bullshit, no matter what I think, hope, or fear, no matter what I think is going to happen, no matter what I hope is going to happen, or I'm fearful. It's like, oh, I'm fear the market's going to jump, so let me get on some put options, or fear of missing out, all that sort of stuff. No, once I started sticking to my plan 100%, things really started to change for me. So that's the story, guys, of how I started to get involved with the stock market. That's the story of how I got involved with trading, and my journey. So my journey ever since of where I've been now. And as I said, right now, my personal coach has been doing it for close to 25 years. Yeah, close to 25 years. He's a multiple seven-figure trader, and I'm very grateful to have him as my coach, because he's really sharp. I don't need to spend 25 years because he's made all the mistakes. I've made a lot of mistakes as well too. But now, when the more I just focus on what he tells me to do, the better I'm a trader. And it's not him telling me what to trade; it's telling me how to trade. And that's the biggest thing out there, right? It's not the trading strategy, but it's more about your approach to it. How consistent are you? How disciplined are you? Are you recording your trades? Meaning, are you putting a trading register down? Are you reviewing your trades? Are you improving your trades? Are you learning from your mistakes? Are you learning from your losses? And then as the years have gone on, that's where I'm at right now. So that's how I got started in the markets, guys, and and where I came from. And I hope this gives you some empowerment that you can do this. You're going to go through a lot of, the market's going to give you a lot of shit, because the market's going to show you, if your life's in turmoil right now, the market's going to show you that. It's going to really give you, that wake up call. And the market is the best personal development course I've ever done in my life. And that's basically what has really helped me in my trading. So if anything, guys, I hope that this story gives you, from a person who was a dumbass washing cars for a living to where I am right now in my trading and really moving forward. It's taken me a long time to get to where I am today. It's taken me so much time, and I probably have taken the long road because I didn't listen to other mentors that I should have. Like things that my current mentor was telling me 4 and 5 years ago, I wouldn't listen to, but now I'm like, I get the reason why he was telling me that. And now things are good. Things are amazing. Trading is simple. It's easy. It's fun. As long as I just keep being consistent, disciplined, and patient with my setup. It's going to be, you can do really well for the rest of your life, no matter what the market is doing, bullish or bearish. So have an amazing day, guys.